So here's how you find the quadratic equation. If you find that the table gives you a quadratic because the differences end in the second differences, what you need to notice is that the quadratic equation itself is a squared term plus this looks like a linear term. So that's going to come in handy at the end. But first, let's go ahead and find the differences. 0 minus negative 2 is 2. 16 minus 0 is 16. 46 minus 16 is 30. And 90 minus 46 is 44. So it's not linear. So let's do the second differences. 16 minus 2, that's 14. 30 minus 16, that's 14. And 44 minus 30 is also 14. So you see by the second differences that the equation is going to be quadratic. So now in my table, let's find what ax squared is by plugging in. Oh no, not yet. We're actually, the ax squared turns out to be where a is 1/2 the difference, and that would be the second difference. So therefore ax squared ends up being 7x squared, because the second difference was 14. Half of 14 is 7, so it's 7x squared. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find the remaining portion, this bx plus c, by we're going to go ahead and take this output, which is what happens if you put the input into what the equation should be, and this is what will come out. What if we put the input into the 7x squared and subtract it from there? That's what we're going to do here. So we're going to have this output, all these outputs, 16, 46, and 90, and we're going to subtract ax squared. So we're going to plug in the x into the ax squared. So 0 squared is 0 times 7 is 0. Therefore we end up with -2. 1 squared is 1 times 7 is 7. 0 minus 7 equals to -7. 2 squared is 4 times 7 is 28. And 16 minus 28 is -12. And then we end up with 3 squared is 9. 9 times 7 is 63. And 46 minus 63 is -17. And 4, forgot to write this one there, 4 squared is 16 times the 7 equals to 112. And then 90 minus 112 is -22. So once we find those terms, we'll go ahead and find the differences here. We got -7 minus -2. Be careful with that minus -2. We'll end up with -5. -12 minus -7 ends up being -5. -17 minus -12 is also -5. And -22 minus -17 gives us -5 also. Since this happened in the first differences of this means that this is a linear portion, which is actually the part that you're looking for here. So if we're going to say that is the linear part, then we know that the slope is -5x, and then we have our y-intercept, but our y-intercept is the same y-intercept over here, which is -2. So our equation, the ax squared, which was 7x squared, plus this linear function, which is that, -5x, and then we got plus -2. Or you could write it as 7x squared minus 5x minus 2.